This guy is blind during the day. But weirdly enough, as soon as night falls, his eyesight magically comes back. Because of this strange condition, he accidentally witnesses the royal doctor brutally murdering the crown prince. After the doctor leaves, the man rushes back to the crown prince, hoping to save him. Unfortunately, the prince is already dying. Even the best doctor in the world couldn't help him at this point. Suddenly, the man spots a silver needle stuck in the prince's head. It's definitely the royal doctor's needle, and it becomes the only evidence in this murder case. Just then, he hears the doctor's voice outside. The man quickly hides. Turns out, the doctor came back because he realized he lost one of his silver needles, so he hurried back to find it. The man tries to escape through the window but accidentally drops the silver needle. He immediately tries to grab it, but the needle falls into a crack in the floor. After a lot of effort, he finally manages to retrieve it. Meanwhile, the doctor inside the room hears a noise, and the man is forced to jump out the window and run away. The doctor only catches a glimpse of his back. The doctor wants to chase after him but is blocked by the crown prince's guards. Thinking quickly, the doctor announces the prince's death and blames the person who just fled through the window. The palace goes into chaos. The king, upon hearing about his son's death, immediately has a stroke. He orders all palace gates closed and swears to catch his son's killer. The guards find blood traces under the window and conclude that the murderer must have been injured while escaping. The king orders everyone in the palace to remove their clothes for inspection. Anyone with a fresh wound is considered the culprit. Afraid of getting caught, the man meets with the crown prince's wife and tells her everything, including about the silver needle he took. They agree to report this to the king the next day. However, as soon as the man leaves, he's captured by the guards. He's really worried because if they check him, they'll see the wound on his leg, and he'll definitely be executed. Luckily, the head doctor, who doesn't know what's really going on, comes and takes him to the king's chamber to treat the king's stroke with acupuncture. The crown prince's wife sees this and misunderstands. She thinks the man has been caught. Worried that justice won't be served, she rushes to the king's chamber, shows the poisoned silver needle as evidence, and immediately accuses the head doctor of being the murderer. When the king asks who her witness is, the man signals to the crown prince's wife not to mention his name. She's confused. It turns out the man has been watching the king's expressions all along. He realizes that instead of being shocked or sad about the accusation, the king seems panicked and angry. That's when he knows something isn't right. And sure enough, from the king's increasingly threatening gaze, the crown prince's wife finally realizes that all of this was actually planned by the king himself. It was the king who ordered his own son's murder.